Righty. Hello everybody and welcome back to Sparxe 2-Key event presented by Joke. It is a fabulous Sunday as we are going to be rounding off the final matches we have for this weekend. And to start off, we are going to go to the winners bracket and round out that. We're going to have Silicosis 2, also known as Cub, versus Mini Egg in our winners bracket match. As always, my name is Eric. Sunday commentating along with me is going to be Teezel. How's it going, Teezel?
Hello, things are good. I've not seen too much of this pool so far just because I've had a busy week. So I'm quite excited to see kind of what the step up in the difficulty is looking like and just how these players handle it, especially as these are the Seed 2 versus the Seed 7 players. So this is kind of getting to the top, like the best of the best 2-key players. So, you know, how are they handling this stage and how are they going to take on each other?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And also, definitely a frightening factor is that one of these players are going to be dropping down into that loser's bracket. And there are already some stacked players already being head into the loser's bracket. I believe one of the more standout ones is Zubin dropping down there. And kind of just adding more fuel to that fire. It's either Mini Egg or Cub dropping down, like you mentioned, the second seed versus the 7th seed. So definitely very two frightening players. They're going to be duking it out to see who will advance in the winner's semifinals.
Yeah, absolutely. But once you get to this kind of stage of the tournament, it is always kind of the fear of seeing these really big name players dropping down into that loser's bracket as is inevitable. And just with this war-up so far, it's looking like it's significantly favoured to Mini Egg due to these really long, I wouldn't really call them jacks at this point, just streams honestly, on one hand, on one side rather, one line. Mini Egg doing pretty well on those, missing a couple of them, but Silicosis on the other hand, really struggling with them in comparison. So that could be a weakness for Mini Egg to exploit.
Yeah, this is, I would reckon this is Mini Egg's warm-up just looking at the mapper. I believe this was used beforehand in a different warm-up. I know Zubin opted for this to be their warm-up on DT as well. But yeah, it definitely looks like that the more speed-based and more fast-paced charting definitely goes in Mini Egg's favor. But I'd say this is a bit more faster than what we have in this pool. I think even some of the rice picks go up to like 150, I think, or 175. And I know there's a hybrid pick that does kind of spike up in BPM, only around 150 though, which this map definitely bears resemblance to.
Okay, that's fair, yeah. So this warm-up quite a bit more difficult than what we'll actually be seeing the players play. So, you know, for the Silicosis fans out there, it's not too much to worry about with the result of that warm-up. But we will be taking a look at their warm-up, and it's mapped by Iron, who has been going pretty crazy on the 2 key maps that they've been putting out since this kind of tournament has been in existence.
Yeah, this is... I don't know if this is a... this is a 5 stars OD10. So...
Oh no. Back to the joke 1 OD conundrum.
Yeah. We're kind of time traveling back to joke 1 here. But it definitely looks like a chart and not something that maybe is mapped out of the sheer meme. But
yeah, I'd be inclined to say so.
I mean, it is mapped by IIL, I think is how you pronounce, which definitely, if you played in previous joke tourneys, you do kind of get the feel of how they map, or I mean, how the songs play out. Definitely polyrhythmic, so just adding OD10 to that is always fun, and I believe that was the case for, I think, one of the Joke 1 maps. I think we had an IIL chart with the OD being put up to 10.
You know, in some cases I feel it's kind of justified, but a lot of the time you can settle for something closer to like 8, maybe 8.5, and honestly that's good enough. Taking a quick look at the chat though, it's really interesting to see Silicosis saying that they are a single tap player, so that's probably why they were struggling with those really long jack patterns in the warm-up. So hopefully there isn't too many maps that, for Silicosis' sake, hopefully there's not too many maps that they're kind of locked out of because of their playstyle, because I know that Mini Egg does full ult, or kind of alternate quite significantly at least.
It looks like our ref is having a bit of issues on their side.
All these things happen. Imagine if a tournament match went smoothly.
Just getting their laptop all set and under control.
Alright. I mean, the one good thing is that there isn't a huge rush to get through this match, because the next one's not for another 3 hours. And I doubt this will take you anywhere near close to that. But here we go, looks like the ref is back. We're going to be starting on with the second warm-up.
Yeah, here we go with the second warm-up. This is, I believe, Cubs warm-up, if I'm correct.
Alright, a significantly more Rice-favored map compared to our previous warm-up.
Oh!
Wait, was that SV or lag?
That was SV.
Oh.
This is bearing striking resemblance to, I believe, another warm-up that I saw that just had random SV coming out of nowhere. I think it was one of the charts maps by Lala, I think, that just had SV just come out of nowhere.
Oh, it's so goofy.
Yeah, as you can see... Alright, go ahead.
I was gonna say, we're not really seeing too much of the polyrhythmic thing. It's more just like the raw, like, Rice skill that we're seeing here. Oh, there's a bit more polyrhythmic stuff here with some really close doublets.
And okay, this is getting bumped up in
Ooh.
density.
Silicosis is the one to take the fall with the density increase. Mania taking the lead.
I believe they are single tapping. Maybe they... Okay. Oh! It seems like every time I try to form a sentence, the song just pauses.
And we must pause too.
Exactly. That is the rule of thumb when it comes to this song, apparently. And yeah, like you mentioned, Cub taking the worser end of this map, as it could be just the transitioning from those SVs to back to those very fast jacks. But seeing this is once 170 BPM ending, and oh, I guess that's the map.
There it is. An unfortunate fail at the end. But that's all good. Just remember to put on no fail for the maps.
And oh no, you just broke the first rule of everything. Don't waste your stamina on the warm-ups.
Those are some really high rolls. 91 from Miniag and 89 from Silicosis.
Yeah,
also, what's the other name?
differential.
What's the other name you're using for them? Like Cobb? Like born on the Cobb? Oh, Cub, like a bear.
Yeah, Cub. That's their original.
Ah, okay.
But I think they had changed to Silicosis 2 because they are the second embodiment of Silicosis.
Oh, okay. I see. This is the Mania kind of expertise and knowledge coming in that I don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have a game mode that is so kind of like mixed between Mania and Taiko, there's just like half of these like people's entire lore that you just don't know in the slightest.
But it looks like, oh, we're gonna see a speed ban from Cub, which definitely makes sense. We did see in the warm-ups that they aren't very favorable on those more faster side of the spectrum when it comes to Rice, so definitely probably not wanting to risk maybe losing your stamina on something like the speed pick. But then you also have something like Rice 3, which is very fast, as well as Hybrid 3 and LN2. So pretty much everywhere there is very fast and dense patterning. And Miniag, I don't know what they would opt for a ban in this case.
Looks like they can go for LN1.
Yeah, that does make sense, honestly. That map, pretty long, and also very release heavy, which if you're not comfortable with releasing and timing your long notes, that could definitely penalize your accuracy. So I can definitely see that being an option for a ban, but it will now be Miniag's pick of the litter. Maybe they'll go up into that Rice range. And I think that's probably where things are going to be staying.
We do see the SV map is still open, but I feel that based on kind of looking through a couple of kind of MP links earlier today, it seems like SV is once again just like a pretty solid map that everyone is just like, yeah, let's just learn it. Let's go for it. And it's really weird seeing a tournament that doesn't have like the gimmicky map, like the SV map, like just getting banned every match.
Yeah. And I mean, Cub is a very prominent SV player. And we're actually going to see Hybrid 1 get the pick, so we're going to try out the hybrids. I know Cub is a very solid long note player, and so is Miniag, so I think both of these players are very, very capable of this chart. I think it's just going to be one of those just be one of those battles where it comes down to ratio or maybe even some excess 200s that could be found.
Yeah, I mean, Mini Egg must be feeling confident if this is their first pick. If you're gonna go with something that can feel very coin flippy, like you need to be very confident in your abilities to get like that maximum score. Otherwise, your opponent's just gonna take it out from under you.
Yeah, for sure, but looks like both players are ready to start. Command has been thrown in. Time to get underway with this match. Hybrid 1 gonna be the first pick from Mini Egg. And let's get things underway. And with this hybrid pick, I would reckon being a bit more LN based. Definitely you can see some shields and lots more LN compared to the other picks we have hybrid wise. Both of these players are actually finding that beginning fairly simple, as both of these players are very neck and neck in accuracy, just finding a bit more 300s than probably what they anticipated. Mini Egg gonna build like roughly a 400 point lead, but even then it's just going back and forth with both these players finding a lot of 300s. I think there might have been a 200 from Cub, but I think Mini Egg might have traded that back.
Yeah, seeing so many of these LNs have kind of staggered releases, as you said before going into this map, the release timing on these LNs is so critical. But having all of these triplets mixed in as well means you've still got to like be really ready to kind of pick up the pace as well, get these bursts in too.
And right now, Cub down in that high 99.6 range, while Mini Egg still, but there's a 200 there as more of the short LNs start raining down, and then some of the more tighter release points can definitely be a choking point for 200s, but as it stands, both players hitting that section is just Cub, I believe, has a few more 200s more than what Mini Egg does, as now this accuracy lead is starting to really show. Mini Egg 99.79, while Cub isn't that far behind. There is definitely room for catching up, but I believe there was a 200 there trying to release these LNs.
Yeah, I did see that.
Especially while balancing those shields as well. The Mini Egg finds a 200 that could do a tad bit to the score, but you're gonna have to find a lot more if you want to swing this lead over to Cub, because as of now, that's a pretty solid 5,000 point lead.
It is a solid 5,000 point lead, but it is only a 5,000 point lead. We are coming up to the end of the map, but a single mistake from Mini Egg, a miss or two, that could pass it over to Cub, but every second that goes past, the chances of that is too low, and Mini Egg takes the point with 991k.
And wow, just taking a good look at these scores. Yeah, it definitely came down to those 200s, even though Cub did have the inferior ratio towards what Mini Egg had. Still, both players getting a solid FC on that chart, and also that 100 that I didn't even realize came from Cub. A very solid score, 985 for them, but it's just Mini Egg being more comfortable with the release points of this chart, and it looks like Cub is going to go for Rice 2.
Alright, so we've seen Mini Egg's most confident pick, and now let's see what Cub's kind of most confident pick is here, and how Mini Egg is able to approach that themselves. A map a bit on the longer side for a pool, over 3.25 minutes. 150 BPM though. OD 7.5, so the accuracy is going to be pretty important. As well as starting at 3.3, so not too high. Especially for a Rice map.
As this map is mainly just trying to alternate back and forth with those trills and those mini jacks. Kind of just going back and forth on each column, but there definitely are some choking points throughout this chart. It's mainly going to come down to consistency as well. 3 minutes and 16 seconds of map. Lots of map to be played throughout this pretty lengthy song.
Lots of
And
notes
here we
to
go
be
underway.
mixed.
Yeah, that too. It's definitely one of those charts where you can take a few drops at the beginning and suffer no consequences, just as long as you continue going throughout the rest of the chart.
It looks like Mini Egg's going to be the player that's struggling a bit more on this intro, dropping the accuracy down, but building up again nicely.
Yeah, dropping their accuracy a bit early, but still has lots of time throughout this chart to get that accuracy up, and they're already on a mission to do so. 99.8 for them, while Cub is still hovering around that 99.9 range as we just get started off with this map. But I think once that 400 combo cap gets met, that lead will definitely be on Cub's side a bit more. But just as long as Mini Egg doesn't find any more like severe, or doesn't find anything severe, they should be fine with that accuracy climb. And right now it's starting to actually flicker back in Mini Egg's favor as we get further on throughout this chart.
Yeah, I think Mini Egg might be having a slightly better time when it comes to ratio. But Cub is still the one with the lead.
Yeah, it can definitely be the ratio component getting the best of Mini Egg, and as it stands, that lead is starting to shrink in even more as their accuracy, as Mini Egg's accuracy is starting to climb up a lot more. They're almost in the 99.9 range now.
It's really difficult to tell who's truly in the lead here. Although I think since we're both still in 2 full combos, it's just got to be the higher accuracy on the side of Cub.
Yeah, it is just going to come down to the accuracy component, and now Mini Egg has reached the 99.9
It's only 300 points
Here come the
difference.
mini jacks. This is definitely the part that chokes up a lot of players. And right now, Cub actually drops their accuracy down a bit, but that's only 100th of a percentage behind there. Oh my goodness! Both players hitting that section, and it's now Mini Egg in the lead by just 100th of a percentage. It's like roughly 400. It's too close to call. Way too close to call, as we still have map to go.
This is definitely not the kind of battle that you can call the winner until it truly is over.
Oh,
This is probably the
there's a
biggest
200
lead
from
we've
Cub.
seen. Oh, this is the biggest lead that we've seen, almost reaching 2,000 points in favor of Mini Egg. This would be a huge break point. But Silicosis is right there to take the lead back if Mini Egg makes any mistakes.
Yeah, there is still map left to go, so it's definitely not over. It would just have to come down if Mini Egg wants to find a 200 at this final section, but I think they have it under control, and yeah, Mini Egg is going to take it. A 997. Oh my goodness, almost getting that V1 double as both players won 200s. Both players getting above 995. That is frightening. Getting a 99, almost a near 996, and still losing that is absolutely frightening right there.
Yeah, it did genuinely just come down to ratio alone, with 100 perfects on the side of Cub, compared to 57 from Mini Egg, almost half the amount. Mini Egg proving themselves to be a very formidable player, and taking the advantage here 2-0, despite being the lower seed.
Yeah, absolutely frightening coming out of Mini Egg. And it is now their pick of the litter. I would reckon they would stay in that hybrid range. Maybe something like hybrid 2 could definitely be a pick, or if they feel a bit risky, head for that hybrid 3 pick. Try to catch off your opponent on the more physical hybrids, or is what I would like to call it, Rice 5.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, not every hybrid can be equal in hybridity.
But that chart, it's pretty much almost pure Rice with just a tad bit of LN on the left column. So I just call it Rice 5 for fun. And there it is, Hybrid 3 gonna get the pick.
All right. Hybrid 1 worked out well for Mini Egg, so let's see if Hybrid 3 will.
Yeah, purple perplex. This, just as long as you can, just exactly what Cub has said, as long as you can hit those long jacks and also balance out that left long note as well, you pretty much have the map nailed down to a T.
And we saw Mini Egg do very well at that in the warm-ups, so I have pretty good faith, especially with them making it their second pick. This is probably going to be a very, very strong score from that blue team. However, Cub might struggle a bit more with this one, but the BPM is significantly lower.
And the NP start command is in. We are ready to start this chart. Here we go, underway with Hybrid 3. And this map being 150 BPM jack with as well, trying to balance out that long note on the left side. It is definitely probably the hardest pick in this, probably one of the hardest hybrid picks of this pool. And ooh, Cub finding a pretty bad opening there, already down in the 98 range. But they're definitely not out of the woods just yet. But,
definitely saw 100 though.
Yeah, there's another 100 there. That is not going to help them at all trying to get that accuracy back up, as Mini Egg has a pretty comfortable 12,000 point cushion to have. But more of these jacks do show up and can definitely trip up Mini Egg if they are not careful. Maybe they accidentally like have maybe a keyboard issue, a double tap. Oh, but there's a break actually from Cub.
The accuracy difference is huge between these players, and that score lead is rising even faster for Mini Egg now, going from 20k to 50k in the matter of seconds.
Yeah, the tempo increase not gonna catch out anyone. Cub missing again, and that's just gonna increase that lead for Mini Egg. And as the map starts to close out, I think even if Mini Egg were to find a drastic miss somewhere here, it wouldn't really matter, as they have already garnered a near 100,000 point lead just over Cub's misses and judgments as well. And despite Cub's best efforts of trying to normalize that accuracy, it's not going to be enough, as Mini Egg is going to take a 3-0 lead, a 994, a V1 double S. What are you doing?
Gosh.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
definitely Mini Egg's kind of strongest skill set in this competition, I feel. Banning this style of map against them would probably be your best bet if you find yourself matching up against Mini Egg in future matches.
Oh, Cub, are you sight reading SV?
I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean, Cub is a very prominent SV player.
However, this could also potentially be a mind game towards Mini Egg to kind of perhaps relax a wee bit. Thinking, oh, I've got this one in the bag. I can just prepare for the next map and I'll take the win. But if Cub is actually lying and has practiced this a lot, perhaps perhaps that will work out in their favor.
Yeah, possibly, but we're gonna have to see. As Cub is asking the $1 million question, why are you seed 7?
Well, if we look back at the history of all joke tournaments, one thing is clear. The person that seeds first never gets first. It's always someone that's like a couple of seeds down. And that's that kind of range, just between kind of like 4th to 8th. Those are the players you really need to watch. And I think Mini Egg has proven themselves to be that player this tournament. But I know that we have quite a few other players so far, such as Basil, that are going absolutely insane. Managing to sweep players like Zubin as well, so still a bit difficult to tell.
And here we go underway with the SV pick. And pretty much the really hard thing about this is just knowing when to time those hits, as those stutters and those teleports pretty much come out of nowhere. So you definitely have to be on your toes at all times on when to hit and when to time. And I mean, seeing how Cub is ghost tapping some patterns makes you think that they aren't on a sight read and just playing mind games. But that was a nasty break on the trill.
Mini Egg still holding onto that full combo so far. Oh, unfortunate drop once again from Cub.
Yeah, Cub not having the greatest of times on this chart. So they are potentially sight reading this SV pick, while Mini Egg has done their homework and has practiced the SV.
Oh, there's a miss! But we're gonna have to see way more misses from Mini Egg for Cub to take the win on their pick here.
I feel like that was way too late in the chart for break, but I mean, there is definitely more time in this map for misses. It's just that one is not going to be enough.
Mini Egg could suddenly forget the entire rest of the map.
Yeah. But as it looks like they aren't forgetting any of the parts of the map, and Cub is not having the... Yeah, Cub, I think, actually is on a sight read run. Actually, if they hit the ending, they are not on a sight read. As you're oh, they hit it!
Oh! Mini Egg did find another drop towards the very end on the final trill. With a score like that, it's not gonna matter. Taking the 4th point. Cub's second pick to have the match point situation. One more point needed to win. Make it 5. And move on through the winner's bracket. Cub, on the other hand, will have to win the next 4 maps in a row. 2 of them being their own pick. 2 coming from Mini Egg to take this to a tiebreaker. But we're going to be starting off with Mini Egg's picks.
If I were Mini Egg, I would probably say Rice 3 would definitely be a option just to secure this match in the bag. As you took note of Cub not being Hybrid 2. Okay, no, that was the ref. The ref is out straight up trolling us. I'm thinking either Hybrid 2 or Rice 3. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah. I mean, if Cub, we've got a pick here. I was gonna say, if Cub is really struggling with speed, to the point of banning speed, might as well try pick the next fastest map in the pool. And from what I know about Save It as a song, I'm pretty sure Mini Egg has just done that. Yeah, 220 BPM. This has surely got to be one of the fastest maps other than speed.
And here we go. Underway with LN2 Mania gonna try to shut the door on Cub and pull up a major upset while Cub trying to look to stay alive for another day in the winner's bracket. Because if either lose, they are not eliminated from the tournament. They will just be sent down to that loser's bracket.
And imagine being the loser's bracket. You think things are fine, and bam, seed 2 in the semi-finals. Here we go. This is the start of Cub's comeback.
Yeah, this is surely the start of Cubs' monumental reverse sweep. That was a Bancho miss.
I was thinking that.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right! Oh my god! I just said that. I just said
there was like a really slight pause. It was like, I don't know if that was real.
But yeah, even with Bancho debating us there, both players holding on a very strong beginning. This map definitely probably the hardest LN pick we have. And yeah, and I was about to say, those inverse sections and those shields, not the fondest of patterns to hit, and that did catch up Cub. But thankfully you have this break section to kind of make up for that. But I mean, already halfway through the chart, you don't really have much map left to go, and already with a 17,000 point lead in Miniag's favor and the tempo increase coming through here. No one getting caught up on that on the trill. And last quarter of the map to go. Right now, Miniag is still in the driver's seat with this pick, as they are absolutely just pretty much carrying this map in their favor. Even with Cub's best efforts to try to recover that miss, it's not going to be enough, and Miniag has punched their ticket into the winner's semifinals, pulling up an upset against our second seed.
Yeah, for really unfortunate for Cub, there was only one single mistake there. While the ratio is slightly different, that is once again such a close map there, as we've seen with plenty of others as well.
Another V1 double S. What are you doing, Cub? I mean, not Cub, Miniag. And like, even though Cub's best efforts, that's also a really good score from Cub. Only a 1 miss and a 1/100. That is a very solid score from Cub, and you should be frightened about that. About Cub dropping into that loser's bracket. They are going to go on an absolute tear in the loser's bracket. But for Miniag, they will be continuing their run in the winner's bracket, as their opponent has not yet been decided. They will either be facing Calliope or Dragon next week. While we drop down into the loser's bracket, it looks like Cub's opponent has not been determined yet. It's either going to be Dad No Name Boy or Sparky. So those matches will be happening sometime later down the line. We are going to be taking a little bit of a break before we head into the next match. Bagyeka versus Hacker Gamer, a conditional match. Going to be happening 2 hours from now at 19 UTC. So we are going to be taking a little bit of a break to get ready for that match. So in the meantime, Teezel, do you have anything else to close off the stream with?
Not really. Just not too many matches left, but you know, there should be some good ones as well. And of course, very soon, at some point, I don't know if it'll be after the final match, because it is now scheduled to Monday, or if it'll be later on today, Sunday. There should be the new pool getting released and all that good stuff. So, if And, join the Discord server if you still haven't. You've just stumbled across this. Plenty of other low-key shenanigans going on. So yeah, we'll see you in a couple of hours for the next match. Alright, yeah, okay, confirmation. 21 UTC for Mat Pool Showcase and all that stuff. So mark that down on your diary.
And we are going to be logging off now, so we will see you all later. So long.